What's up, guys? So got a pretty unusual knife today. It's really cool. So I went into this pawn shop slash gun shop about a year ago, 8 months to a year ago, and I asked them if they had any cool knives, and they brought this out from the back. They at the time, unfortunately, they were wanting a crazy amount of money for it, and I explained to the guy that, listen, it's a red class line of Benchmade. They were made in Taiwan. They discontinued them. Even though it's really cool, it's not going to bring that kind of money. So at that time, he chose to hang on to it. I went back in there last week, and luckily he was in a selling mood, and he sold it to me for a halfway reasonable price. This is the Benchmade LFK, large folding knife. So for most of you know, but for those of you that don't, the red class line is a line Benchmade tried to make about 12, 13 years ago to bring a less expensive Benchmade to the market. They were made in Taiwan. For the most part, fairly decent knives. I did read a bunch of forums where people had some problems on there and with a few of them, but they're a less expensive knife. They're not going to hold up like an American-made Benchmade. This one seems to be pretty decent. Of course, it's still brand new in the box, new old stock. The guy used to sell Benchmades, over a decade ago, and this was his very last one he had in stock, and just ended up sticking it in the back. It didn't sell. It's a really cool concept. Just didn't go over well. It wasn't very practical. So the Benchmade discontinued the Taiwan knives shortly after its conception. So some of them now are a little bit collectible, and they'll probably get more collectible as time goes on. This knife was based on a folding fixed blade, and we've seen lots of variations of that, right? People trying different things. So one thing we usually look at is handle to blade ratio, and you can see this one is crazy. And of course it looks like that when you fold it up, that the blade would stick out the bottom of the scales, and it does, but as you close it up, a blade guard comes out, and I just thought that was cool. I mean, it's on a hinge mechanism with the blade. I mean, you just don't get much cooler than that. But it wasn't very practical. People didn't really care for it. This is the only one I've seen with PVD coating and half serrations. I've yet to find another one like this one. I've seen a lot of them with satin blades. The blade steel is 440C, which was pretty common for a budget or medium end knife back then. Let me grab my ruler. So I'll show you how crazy these specs are. That blade is about 5.5 inches long. The handle scales are 4 7/8. So that's a monster blade to handle ratio. Probably won't see another one like that, but it actually runs fairly smooth. I mean, it flicks out there without a problem. I mean, it feels like a pretty solid knife, but again, it's brand new. It's gonna feel like that. There's the I won't attempt to pronounce that name, but there's the designer. I'll try it. Steigerwalt design. They made in Taiwan. I wonder if it'll focus. Getting used to this new camera, it's going to take me a little bit. But anyway, that is the. Let's check the weight since I have the scale right here. Turn it on. And if you're looking for a really good scale, this is actually a Freon scale for measuring refrigerant, 6.5 ounces, and it's extremely accurate. And you can find these used in pawn shops for 50, 60. I paid 80 for this one, but it was a really high-end brand. And man, these things have to be dead on accurate to know how much Freon you put into a system or how much is left in a bottle. And it's got this little remote. It's really cool. So there it is, the Benchmade LFK, sorry, large folding knife. So this will be for sale. If any of you guys are interested in it, hit me up. I mainly buy cool stuff like this to review, and then I pass it on to someone else. So hit me up if you're interested. Guys, if you would, please throw me a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed. It really helps out. It helps me bring you guys some cool content. So I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.